check it out. It's gonna be worth my life getting across that street though. First job was to find the main entrance. Mission accomplished. Now I gotta find the chapel. Here we go. Section 13. Appropriate number. That should be right there, I bet you. Get that. Okay. I think this is it. Weird thing is that this looks kind of new, if it's it. But yeah, there it is. Holy crap. He was a bad man. He was a very bad man.
I'm what they call a ripperologist. Well, I'm a filmmaker first, but I'm also an aficionado of the Jack the Ripper murders. It's a pretty cool story. Some maniac kills 5 prostitutes over several weeks, yet no one, not even the vaunted Scotland Yard, has ever been able to solve the mystery of just who done it. When you're a ripperologist, you have to pick a favorite. Of all the Jack the Ripper suspects, I like Dr. Francis Tumblety, a flamboyant quack from Rochester, New York, who went by many names. When he wasn't dodging malpractice cases in Canada and the US, Tumblety collected women's body parts in jars. Heck, he was even arrested for the murder of President Abraham Lincoln. As far as the Ripper went, Tumblety was in London, England at the time of the murders. Scotland Yard did interrogate him, after which he fled. The murders immediately stopped. Tumblety is even said to be the inspiration for The Lodger, a book about the murders that became a movie. Several, in fact. I was filming one of Tumblety's old offices one day when I got this idea. Why not remake The Lodger? So when I got home, I jotted down a few ideas and started thinking about a producer. Preferably non-douchebag, but I wasn't that picky. The guy I chose was one of those old school producers who you only see in the black and white movies. He said he was working on a new project with actor John Agar, though I could have swore Agar was dead. The producer seemed to like my pitch, but he wouldn't commit to anything till I actually wrote a few scenes. So that's what I did, or at least tried. As luck would have it, I was scheduled to show a little short I did at a Halloween horror film fest in Rochester, New York. It went pretty well, but I was there for another reason. Inspiration. Once I was there, standing in front of Tumblety, I didn't know what to do. So I read him my movie idea. Why not? Figured he could use the entertainment. But it really didn't seem to help none.
Johnson. 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 Johnston.
From hell. That was Jack the Ripper's old sign-off. Was Jack, or Frank, talking to me from beyond the grave? I wasn't sure, but the thought that he might be on board with my project proved inspirational. Over the next few weeks, I got a lot of script notes from Frankie. Usually they came in the form of blood or viscera. Oh, and Post-its. Frankie's help proved invaluable. The guy had a real ear for dialogue and character development. The producer, he was liking what he was reading too. He said it wouldn't be long before we were in Hollywood, enjoying the California sun while sipping Mai Tais with Marilyn and Bogey and John Agar. As the script progressed, me and Frankie got pretty close. Turns out he grew up poor in Rochester, living largely on the streets. As a doctor, he was a visionary. He preferred the herbal remedies over a scalpel. This, of course, drew the ire of the local medical societies, most of whom were still prescribing heroin and mercury as a cure-all. Frankie said his arrest for the Lincoln murder was actually a trumped-up charge brought by jealous doctors bent on his destruction. Needless to say, Frankie's story started creeping into my script. He was a great collaborator who always kept me on the right path. As for the whole Ripper murder thingy, he was a victim of circumstance yet again. Scotland Yard didn't like him and his in-your-face attitude, so they made him a scapegoat. Heck, no surprise he fled. I would've, wouldn't you? And even in death, folks still wouldn't leave him alone. I saw it as my job to set the record straight. My producer, he didn't see it that way. Man, I wasn't looking forward to telling Frank what happened, but he took it pretty well. Haven't you learned anything about jumping to conclusions?
Johnston.
Me and Frankie are collaborating on a new project together. Something a little more up our alley. We plan on debuting at the next Halloween Horror Fest in Rochester.
See you there.